Hi, everybody. All right, so we are going to we're going to do some Pythagorean theorem to find the perimeter, area, word problems. Okay, and so let's go. Finding the perimeter. Okay, so you know the Pythagorean. I'm going to turn my camera off again. Slows down my computer. Okay, so you know about the Pythagorean theorem from last week. It is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. What is the perimeter of the trapezoid? So perimeter, circle that word, write it down on your paper. It means add all side lengths together. It's important to know how far it is all the way around something, okay? And so here we're gonna, if we look at the top, you can just count the squares. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So the top is 4 units long. The right side is also 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. The left side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares. And now the mystery side. And you can't count the squares for that one. Don't count squares for slanted. I mean, if you do that, you're just not paying attention to this video. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, we're going to cut this into a right triangle. And we know that if the top is 4, then this side is 4. And also from the composite area, we know if that whole length is 7, right? And then that means that this part and this part have to add to 7. But we know that this side is 4 because the other side is 4. Okay? So that means this much is 4. So what does that have to be to add to 7? In other words, 4 plus blank equals 7. And the answer is 3. Hope you knew that. 3. So now, to find the mystery side there, x, if you would like, we are going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So this is our a, our b, our c. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. Square them out. Add them together. Square root, don't divide by 2. And you get 5. All right, so I did that quickly because you should already know the Pythagorean theorem in this video. So now we know that x equals 5. We're going to add them together. What are we going to add together? We're going to add 4. You can add that 7, 5, and 4 together. So 4 plus 4 plus 7 plus 5. And that's 8. And that's 15. And so I think the answer is going to be 20. Let's try it out. It's 20. It's 20. All right. So that's what you got to do for this one. You just we're going to be separating into triangles so that you can find the missing sides using the Pythagorean theorem. So give that a try. See if you say to yourself, oh, I think I can do that. I can try. And then we'll go over it in class. Now, finding the area. So we talked about composite shapes, cutting things into triangles and rectangles to find the area. Well, we can do the same thing using the Pythagorean theorem, but also we can find the Pythagorean theorem to find the missing dimensions. So there's 2 ways to find the area of this parallelogram. You could find the area of this triangle and this triangle, and then add them together. But I am going to teach you more the way I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to tell you the area of a parallelogram formula. It's going to shock you. It's base times height, just like a rectangle. So in order to find the area of this parallelogram, we can identify its base and its height. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. And its base down here is 9. This is not the base. 8 is not the base because it's missing this little piece there. So the base is 9. You got that. And the height is what we want to find out. If we know the base and the height, just multiply them. So how can we find the height? Well, take this upside down triangle, and it's a right triangle. C would be 17, B can be 8, and then A can be our missing side. So A squared plus 8 squared equals 17 squared. So then we know 8 squared is 64. And 17 squared is 289. Now we're going to put that 64 on the other side as a negative. So 289 minus 64 is 225. And guess what? That is a perfect square. That's 15. So now we know the height is 15. So now we can just substitute in 9 times 15. And what is 9 times 15? It's 135. 135. So let's put that in. All right. Well, so you can do the same thing here with this right triangle. Use the Pythagorean theorem to find the height, and then just use the area of a triangle formula. And I hope we all know that. Now, this last one is my favorite. This is Pythagorean theorem word problems. And so in some of these, they draw a picture for you. They don't draw a picture for you. Your first step will be to draw a, well, I'm not going to write it here because it's already there, but draw a picture. So that's what we do with word problems. We draw a picture to make sense of them. So let's read it. Jake plans to use a ramp to make it easier to move a piano out of the back of his truck. The back of the truck is 83 centimeters tall and the ramp is 158 centimeters long. What is the horizontal distance from the end of the ramp to the back of the truck? And they've even labeled it. So all we got to do is label our sides. So I'm going to write the Pythagorean theorem. I'm going to substitute in. And don't worry, you can use a calculator on in this unit. Unfortunately, but it's okay. 158 squared is 24,964. And 83 squared is 6,889. So put that on the other side. So 24,964 minus 6,889, 18,075. And then square root that. What do we get? Square root of 18,075. 134.44. And it says round your answer to the nearest 10. So that's going to be The first decimal place is the tenths. The second decimal place is the hundredths. Hopefully you remember that. So we're going to round to 1 decimal. And we're right. All right. So you see right here, they didn't draw a picture. So you would have to draw a picture. Elise is walking diagonally. That means like that. From one corner of a square plaza. Okay, a square. I can draw a square. She's walking diagonally. So she's walking like that. You know, each side is 50. So then they want to know the diagonal distance. So they want to know C. So hopefully you can see that it'd be 50 squared plus 50 squared equals x squared. Okay, so a lot of times in this unit, just because there's not a picture drawn, people have a question, but they told us the shape, they told us she's walking diagonally, so give it a try and then just ask your questions and we will ace it. All right, see you in class.